Today we're diving into a leadership model that's, believe it or not, over 2,000 years old. And yet, it holds the secret to solving some of the biggest, most common conflicts that teams face today. We're going to look at Jesus not just as a historical figure, but as a true masterclass in a kind of balanced leadership that can absolutely transform any organization. Let's see how it works.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by identifying a struggle that I bet is pretty common. Then we'll break down the two leadership extremes that cause all the trouble. We'll look at the dangers of getting that balance wrong before exploring a better way forward, a balanced model. And finally, we'll talk about how you can find that balance for yourself.
All right, let's jump right in with a problem that I'm sure many of you have seen or maybe even lived through firsthand, especially if you've been part of a mission-driven organization or a church.
It's a tough question, isn't it? I mean, you get all these passionate, dedicated people in a room, all working toward the same goal. But somehow, things can just devolve into conflict, tension, and sometimes even division. So, what is really going on beneath the surface?
Well, it turns out the root cause usually isn't a lack of skill or passion. It's often something deeper. It's a fundamental clash between two very different and often totally unbalanced ideas about what it even means to be a leader.
Okay, so let's unpack these two opposing styles, because really, understanding them is the very first step to finding a better way forward.
This is such a great way to picture it. The goal obviously is to stay on the road, right? But it's just so easy for leaders to swerve off into one of two ditches, either being way too controlling or, on the flip side, not being controlling enough.
Okay, this right here is really the heart of the whole issue. It lays out two completely different mindsets. So on the left, you've got the being in charge leader. You can see their focus is all about position, about control. They think they need to have all the answers, and they often see questions from their team as some kind of threat. And that insecurity, it can lead them to try to do it all on their own, without any mentors. Now look at the right side. This is the giving charge leader. Their strength is collaboration, it's synergy. But look at the dangers there. They can end up not having enough control, getting taken advantage of, and sometimes getting a little too lost in self-reflection. The big takeaway here is that both of these extremes have some serious blind spots.
So, what happens when a leader or even a whole team gets stuck in one of these ditches? Well, the results aren't just theoretical. They have very, very real consequences for the health of the entire organization.
When leadership is out of balance, the gears of the team just start to grind against each other. And we're not talking about minor friction here. This is a force that actually pulls the entire mission in the wrong direction. It creates these deep frustrations, it builds up strife, and if you don't fix it, it can literally shatter a team and lead to some really damaging splits.
And this is what we call unhealthy conflict. It's that awful kind of breakdown where people on the team just feel completely unheard, where empathy from the leadership is gone, and where honesty and honor get replaced by this desperate need to win at all costs. The mission gets totally forgotten, and it becomes all about winning the argument.
So, if those are the ditches, how in the world do we stay on the road? Well, thankfully, there's an incredibly powerful model for finding that perfect balance. This quote just flips the traditional, worldly model of leadership completely on its head. It basically suggests that real leadership, true authority, is found in serving the people you lead, not just barking orders at them. And this is the foundation of the whole balanced model. So here it is. This is the crucial point. Balanced leadership isn't about picking a side. It's not one or the other. It's about developing the wisdom and the flexibility to combine both. It's knowing instinctively when a situation needs you to step up and take decisive charge, and when it needs you to step back, empower your team, and give that charge to others.
And this is a huge paradigm shift for a lot of people. A truly balanced leader doesn't try to shut down every disagreement. No. Instead, they use their position to turn potential arguments into healthy, productive discussions where the best ideas can actually rise to the top.
So how do you create that kind of environment? It all starts with the leader setting the tone. Think of it like a recipe with a few key ingredients. You need a culture of real honesty where people feel safe to speak up. You need a leader with the courage to be vulnerable. You need a team that's committed to finding the facts, not just defending their opinions. And always, you need to focus on finding a win-win outcome for everybody.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually put it into practice? Let's look at a really clear, actionable path forward for any leader who wants to find this balance.
The path forward really involves a simple three-step approach. First, never stop learning. Be a lifelong student.
Actively go out and get instruction on team building. Second, get some personal coaching to help sharpen your own unique leadership style. And third, always lead with the future in mind. That means intentionally developing the next generation by creating a real succession plan.
And this right here, this is the ultimate payoff. When you finally master this balance of leading and serving, you stop having to demand that people follow you. Instead, people want to follow you. They want to contribute their best ideas, and they want to commit to the mission because they feel valued, they feel heard, and they feel empowered.
So we'll end with a question, just for you. Take a really honest look at your own leadership style. Are you driving steady, right down the middle of the road, knowing when to take charge and when to give it? Or are you maybe stuck in one of those ditches, either too much control or not nearly enough? The health of your team really depends on that answer. Thanks for joining me.